we've taken feedback. This time's webinar is not going to be long, not going to be stretched enough. We have Bhuvan Kalra, who's as our host for today's webinar. He's a coach for some of your community as well. So welcome, Bhuvan. Bhuvan is he's done his BSc in nutrition and clinical dietetics, and he's himself worked with about 2 startups, and he's been working with us at Healthify Me as a pro coach. Speaking of him, he's also a diabetic health educator, and he's helped plenty number of people reverse diabetes, and also his papers on intermittent fasting has been published as a research paper. So a lot to learn from Bhuvan. In fact, he is, just on a side note, he is a sports enthusiast. He loves reading. He's a big propaganda of not like diet freedom and not following diet per se, rather than a long-term goal achievement. So I think this program and having Bhuvan on board helps us to achieve that long-term weight loss, rather than just going back in that yo-yo effect of losing and gaining. So I'm sure Bhuvan's today's session would really help us. Apart from this, he loves reading, and he has a lot of knowledge on the gut health, which we could probably take some insights over the coming weeks. We almost have about 86 participants on board. So we'll probably quick start now and take the questions towards the last 5 minutes, last 15 minutes. Bhuvan, if am I audible to you? Can I get a thumbs up on the chat box if you can hear me clearly, team?
Yeah, Jenny, you're audible, I think, with Bhuvan, maybe.
Yeah, yes. Yes, yes, you're audible, Jenny. Thanks so much for the introduction. Somebody is actually drawing on the whiteboard, I guess. So I can see these red lines. So can you just ask Malika to...
Sure. Yeah. While you guys can also keep posting questions on the chat box, and I and the team will also simultaneously help answer. Some of the questions we'll take towards the end of the webinar, Bhuvan. Thanks, Bhuvan. We can get started.
Yes, let's get started. So, first of all, I hope that I have everyone's attention. So, we are going to embark on a mystery of sorts, which a lot of researchers went into, finding that why mindful eating works. And for the sake of this, presentation, I will be using both English and Hindi. And so a mix of both, so that I can cater to all the audiences. So I will try to say one thing in both, so to get some ground rules in. So first of all, what is mindful eating? So I always think that it's a lot fun way to define something by its opposite, right? So it's opposite of mindfulness. Anyone have any idea what is the opposite of mindfulness? Please, I really want this to be interactive.
Eat whatever you want.
Binging.
Yes, right. So, but in technical, distraction, very nice. Ignorance.
Careless.
So beautiful insights, guys. So it actually is that, and if we go to an exact opposite word, it is mindlessness, right? That means that we are not in the present moment. We are just distracted. We are not there, right? So I really believe that we can explain something by its opposite really well. So really great answer, guys. So now let's move forward. So this is me, you have heard about it. So now we want to move from mindless eating to mindful eating. So now we have already defined mindlessness. Now what is mindfulness? Let's go to that. So, it is a state, mindlessness is a state in which we are not fully aware of something, of all the intricacies of all the details of it. We are not fully there. We are not 100% there, and we are barely aware of what's happening. And what is the opposite of this? To be maximally aware, to be in the present moment, to be 100% there, this second, this moment. So if we say that, are we getting mindful in this meeting or not? If our 100% attention is there, yes, we are mindful right here, right? Thinking before eating how food will impact us. That's awesome. So going forward, now, how many of you think that, we are logical beings, right? That our brain is in the driver's seat and our heart here signifies our feelings are in the passenger seat. How many of us believe that? Can I see a raise of hands, or please feel free to speak here? Or just write in the chat box. So I actually used AI to, yeah, vice versa, Rajesh. You are very right here. So all the latest research shows that we always used to think that our brain is in the driving seat and our feelings and our emotions are, the passenger. But it's actually, for better or for worse, it's like this. That our feelings are which are driving our body, our feelings are which are driving our life, and our brain is just a passenger. So, but still brain plays an important role. Our brain is giving instructions to our emotions that, okay, yes, you want to do this, yes, you want to eat that piece of cake, yes, you don't want to sleep on time, yes, you want to watch another episode, but you should do something otherwise. But ultimately the decision is in the hand of emotions only. So with mindfulness, we are able to control or manage our emotions in a much better way. So rather than just, so I really believe that only understanding something is very different from applying something. A lot of us know that a lot of things are bad for us. Then why do we end up doing it anyways? Right? So this is the reason. And this research was done by a pioneer in, neurology research, Dr. Kahneman, and his book called Thinking Fast and Slow. It's an excellent read, guys, for anybody who wants to learn that how our brain works, physiology works. So let's move from here. So going forward, now we already discussed what to eat, right? That we are going to be skipping the bites, and there are another, things that going to be followed webinars in the coming weeks that will tell us what to eat. But now we want to know about how to eat it, right? So there's an art to eating also. So why mindful eating, right? So let's go to that. So via this, we are going to learn a lot of ways in. So I always wholeheartedly believe that before asking you to do something, I want to tell you the why. That why are we going to do something, right? Because if our why is clear, why is the purpose, gives us a sense of purpose, that where we belong and how we want to go about something. So if your why is very clear कि अच्छा मैं ये mindfulness technique इसलिए करूँगा, तो you will be, you will want to do it, you'll be able to do it in a much better way if our why is clear. So this is the unsolved mystery. So I want all people's attention. This is like we are going to be detectives now, and we are going to step by step decipher that why some bizarre things keep on happening, in why we feel full and why don't we feel full. So researchers, randomly took two groups of people, right? They divided it into two groups, and they actually showed that what sort of foods will give what sort of impact. So both these foods have around 28 spoons of sugar, right? The candy and the Coca-Cola. But when people ate the candy, they, after eating it, for example, that you were in the group one and you ate candy, and after eating it, you went to, you went about your day, that you'll eat anything, you'll do something, and you didn't feel more hungry. Whereas people who drank Coca-Cola with the same amount of sugar, felt more hungry. They did not even feel that they have eaten anything. So is this something about solid calories and liquid calories, that solid calories give us a feeling of fullness, whereas liquid calories doesn't? So what do you think can be the reason, guys? I want, few answers from here. Like, we are solving it together. So just let me know. Anyone?
For solid, it takes more time to digest.
Very nice. Counts of units differ. Chewing, very nice answers. So portion size, amazing. So chewing is one part of that mystery, actually, because they, like, a lot of researchers thought that there is no chewing involved in the process. Maybe chewing helps our body tell, okay, we have eaten something. And when we drink something, we don't feel anything. We are not chewing. So chewing is definitely a big part of the journey, but it still did not explain that. So many people thought maybe these two things are made with different ingredients, right? Yes, the sugar is same, but Coca-Cola have different ingredients, and the jelly beans or the candy have different ingredients. So they took it to the next step. They now made the ingredients same, right? But made sure that, they were in different forms. So here what they did was they took the fruits, they took the water, blended it into a smoothie. And one group had the smoothie and another group was given fruits and water, simple. So now the ingredients is the same, but the, form is different, but exactly same ingredients. So what do you think now would have happened? Who will feel more full, the smoothie group or the water and the fruit group?
The
And
water
why?
and the fruit group.
Smoothie.
Why do you think
Smoothie.
that is?
Because
Okay,
here the mind is playing the game as we are chewing, as you mentioned, the chewing plays a major role here.
right,
Uh,
right. So water plus food group, you a lot of lots of quantities in fruits. I'm seeing a lot of remarks here. Group 2, chewing and eating fills up the stomach. So we are getting the insight here, guys. And actually, the smoothie group felt, less full than the only fruit and water group. So again, now people thought, okay, then if one is in a liquid form and one is in a solid form, and the solid form is making them feel full, then why does this happen? So there are two groups again. In one, the person is fed smoothie with the same ingredients and they made soup with the same ingredients. I know they look of different color. I could not manage the images. So smoothie and soup are made with the same ingredients now, and both are liquid now. Here one was liquid, one was solid, and we thought, yes, liquid will make us less full and solid will make us more full because we have to do a lot of chewing. But here in both, no chewing is involved, and soup was making people feel much better. Conditioning plays a role, definitely it does. There is also a part coming up. Why do you think that soup is more fulfilling than smoothie? Both are liquids. I've
I
already
think
got
the
some amazing
temperature
answer,
is
guys.
important because a smoothie, one person gulps it very quickly, and the soup, someone takes time and have it. So that's why.
You have cracked it. You have actually cracked it. So, even researchers thought that, yeah, maybe warm foods are satiating or more fulfilling as it is. Like if in winters we have a warm soup, we feel full, so full. So that's what people thought as well. So I would just like to give a few more insights, or maybe, then we can solve this mystery properly if this group, first group, had another group added to it. There is water, fruit, they blend it into a smoothie. Second group was fruit with water. Now, what if we feed someone a cold dish only, but with a spoon and in a bowl? So that's what the researchers actually did. There was a third group actually, in which they gave this smoothie, the first smoothie, in a bowl form. So instead of gulping it very fast, you can take a smoothie and you can just drink it through a straw in 1 minute. But instead of gulping it, they told them to eat it bite by bite, mindfully, right? And then we found out that the group 2 and group 3 had the same level of fulfillment. So what do you think now the learning here is? What is the factor that is common in all these three things that is playing a role in feeling of fulfillment?
I think chewing.
chewing and time to eat the
Slow
food.
eating.
Sorry?
Slow eating.
Slow.
Slow
Mindful
eating.
eating.
Exactly.
Mindful eating.
So the mystery is time. The
Time.
timing.
So yeah, timing. So our mind will give you the this thing here. Your stomach is full.
Exactly. On point. So I'm so glad everybody is following this mystery so slowly and finally, and everyone helped us contribute to the finding the solution. So we have cracked the mystery now. We know that why mindful eating works, because when we eat mindfully, we automatically eat slowly, right? So that makes everything so much more filling, so much more satisfying, and we eat less without even doing portion control. So I heard somebody was asking that, we need a meal plan and we need to know that how much we need to eat. But here, if we listen to our body cues and if we eat in a mindful way, exactly, that's what I was going to say. It takes our brain 20 minutes to know that we are full. Dr. Shipra, I hope I'm saying it right. Thanks for that insight, and we will surely exchange more notes on this. So
Yes,
yes.
20 minutes, that is the time that CNS takes to apprise that we are actually eating something. So we must eat so fast.
Fantastic. Right. And most of us eat so fast that we finish our meal in 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 10 minutes. One time, like few months back, I was eating and, I actually put on a timer. I was like, I easily take 15 minutes to eat. And trust me not, I finished my meal in 4 minutes. And it takes our brain to start to know that we are eating something at least 15 to 20 minutes. Exactly. Hypothalamus is what gives that signal. There is a molecule called leptin, which hits our hypothalamus and sends the signal, okay, now stop eating, you're full. But it takes 15 minutes to activate from our first bite. So imagine if our first bite to our last bite is within 5 minutes, how will our brain know? So now we are going to restructure, or we are going to learn some techniques.
One more pointer I want to add, if you allow. Sometimes what we do now, we watch TV while eating, or we use gadgets. So that is also
definitely
play a major role.
That is totally on point. Like a lot of youngsters cannot even start their meal until there is Netflix on or YouTube on. And trust me, and I see who is guilty here, who like everyone is laughing. So even we do it sometimes, right? So that's what I say, that only knowledge is not enough. There are very different paradigms in knowing something and applying something, because a lot of us know, we need to eat less and move more, right? We need to eat slow. But how do we translate it into real life solutions, right? That's the question here. We just don't want to read something and then let it go. How do we apply it in real life? And this community will really help, because accountability and community really reinforces each other, right? Okay, I've tried this trick, maybe I'll also try it. And you know that every day, every morning when you're logging in your weight, your coaches are watching it, right? So you're accountable. So that accountability factors plays a huge role. And that is why I think a great coach is important. So time, we have finally figured it out. Slow eating, timing is what's the common factor here. So yeah, when this is like little science, 3-step, our brain detects foods in our mouth and starts rerouting the intestines, food is coming. And that starts to send the signal, that your food is coming now, and that leptin and that hypothalamus starts to get activated. And by 15-20 minutes, your brain is sending signal, now stop eating. So now we are going to discover some techniques on how we can slow the rate of eating down, right? Just a second. Go for it. Okay. So what is mindfulness or mindful eating? Being maximally aware of the things, situations, and experience you are witnessing. Now, this mindfulness here means that you can be more present in everything you do. Maybe while you're brushing your teeth, we are thinking about 1,000 things in the morning, right? So that is not a mindful practice. We are, going for a run, and our brain is not in the run itself. We are not feeling our body. We are not feeling how we are moving or how we are sweating, but we are somewhere else. So I think most of the modern problems these days are because we are not in the present moment. So I really suggest do everything you already do, but with more mindfulness, being more present in the moment. And it's really harder than it sounds. It sounds easy, but in the modern life, there are so many distractions these days that it's hard to come by. So all these techniques are going to slow down your eating rate. One is eating without Netflix technique. So now you must say that, I'll not watch Netflix, I'll watch YouTube. This goes to everything. So who here does, I want to listen, who here watch usually maybe 2 times a week, 5 times a week, or every time, watching something and then eating something? Guilty as charged, Ankita. I want to listen. Okay. Harsha has raised her hand. Guys, you can raise your hands. Himanshu, 2 participants. Okay. I think there are more. You can come out. Right. So why is it so soothing? Right. Arnab Goswami makes you binge every night. You should change your, entertainment source. Okay. Best source which will help us control food habit is doctor's prescription. Beautiful. So see, it is common among so many people that we have attached eating with either, being busy with everything, somebody saying taking office calls. And so, in this, we have to make a rule that we will watch anything before and after. We are allowed to think anything before and after. We are allowed to, even, while having our dinner, just wait for 10 minutes, take out 10 minutes for your meal. Even while preparing this presentation, my friend was sitting with me and I was like, I need to eat fast. And he was like, you're making a presentation on that. At least calm down and eat first. So I actually, if we are eating and doing something else, we are not even present there or here. So when I was eating and doing, I could not, deliver proper thing. So yeah, that's very good. You allow your family to watch. And I think it's a very good practice that just being here in the moment will really help us to eat slower. And studies have shown that people eat 30 to 40% more while watching their favorite show or while watching something interesting, rather than sitting without doing anything and eating. Imagine if you're eating 2 chapatis normally, you'll be eating 3.5 chapatis, right? So we don't even get to know because we are so much engrossed. We are going with the pace of the show. For example, I really like to watch Friends while eating my meal. Sometimes guilty as charged, right? So Pragya is also saying that she's also loves to watch Friends. So, but the pace of the show is so fast. Everyone's laughing, joke after joke after joke, and you also eat in that pace. So yeah, just for these 10 minutes, best show ever. I second that, Dr. Miguel. Thank you. So, and that's why, we are also like that, we are not getting time for ourselves and maybe we will not get time to watch it afterwards. So let's pair it with our eating. But eating is one of the most important things we do for our body. Then why not just take out these 10 minutes, do it in the right manner, and then move on. So I'll spend less time in the further techniques. I think we'll get short of time otherwise. So chewing 32 times. So we must have heard we have 32 teeth. We should chew 1 bite for each of our teeth. So there is a lot of wisdom to it, but personally, I cannot chew 32 times. It's too much for me. So what we can take it from here is if you can chew 32 times, really bravo to you. But if you can't, still try to chew more. Maybe 10 times, 15 times, 20 times. And it is not only that you are taking more time, but a lot of times when there are thoughts going in our head, right? Okay, maybe, okay, I have to get this done. He said this to me. He did that to me. I have a lot of presentation to do. So our mind is somewhere else when we are eating. So stress also increases the speed of eating. So what we can do here is, this is also grounding technique. So a lot of meditation is about focusing on one thing, right? Focusing either on a mantra or our breath, right? But here we are focusing on our chewing. So when we are focusing on only our chewing up and down, we are counting 1, 2, 3. I know it may sound boring at first. Coming from French to counting our chews is obviously boring, but it will actually taste better, and you will be feeling all the textures of it, and you will be more grateful for the food that you have got. So that is a technique we are going to also learn further. But chew it 10 times, 15 times, and if you are unable to stop your mind, if your mind is rushing a lot, grind yourself to the chewing, each bite. 1 chew, 2nd chew, 3rd chew. If a thought comes again, start to count the chewing again. So that will bring your attention from the thoughts to the chewing part. And trust me, guys, it comes with practice only. You will feel very uncomfortable doing this or watching without Netflix in the start. And Rabika already knows what we are discussing about. Awesome. So she just joined. And trust me, it's very uncomfortable when there is no screen in front of you. It may seem boring, but after 2 times, 3 times, so what I did was I did not completely shift. So I was like, I will eat at least 1 meal without a screen, right? So instead of going to, I will just start to eat all these meals without a screen. If you can do it, perfect. But I'm a guy who want to start small and build up on that. And I think a lot of us are like that. And why we most of the times fail is because can we listen to podcasts while eating? I think you're still not in the present moment. You are, even if you are alone, right? It's not about being alone, but your mind is not alone. Even if you're listening to something, you're listening to music, you're listening to your friends talking, you're not right there, right? So, but you can really listen to podcasts while going on a walk or run. That really helps me to stay there, to not get bored. I know it's not mindful running, but we can't do everything mindfully now. So yeah, so I'll just come to the part where, so I also want to, point towards one study, and then we move on to the next technique. That a lot of times when we are eating low salt food at home, for example, I tell you to eat less oil and less salt in your food, so you'll feel like it doesn't have any salt. But after 2-3 days, you'll feel normalized. So your taste buds have actually adjusted. And when you'll go out on the weekend to have a golgappa, you'll be like, "Are isme itna namak kaise?" So our bodies adjust to what we are giving it. If we are eating, sugary cereals every day, even the ripest of mango will not taste sweet to us. So what we have to do is give it some time to adjust. Give it some time to watch TV without Netflix. Give it some time to focus on our bites and then chew. It's not comfortable for sure, but really worth it. Right? And you don't have to practice all these techniques all at once. You can try one by one. But what I suggest is keep a little tracker on your wall and just tick after a meal what technique you practiced today. That will keep you more grounded and feeling more fulfilled. Okay, I practice this technique today. I practice this technique today. And before you know, after 1 month, 2 months, you are eating very much mindfully. It's not an overnight thing, trust me, but it's a step in the right direction. So, any questions, guys, here before we move forward? Challenge accepted. Excited to hear that, guys. My issues are being engrossed in worries while eating. Yes, even I do that sometimes. And so just try to focus on the chewing part, because that is one thing we are doing. Awesome. No Netflix. Even I am on it now. Back to this again. We are in this together. I will post the challenge in the community group after we end the webinar. So another awesome technique that I found out, and it is the Buddhist technique I found out. I read it in a book, that when the Buddhist monks are being trained, they are told to everything by their non-dominant hand. For example, if you're brushing your teeth with the left hand, you need to be very careful. And so you'll do it very nicely. Otherwise, we can just do it fast and go. So this is what helped Buddhist people to become, come in the present moment and then take it from there. And I think if you'll try to eat with your left hand, if you're a righty, if you don't eat it carefully or slowly, you will spill the food on you. So if you don't want to embarrass yourself, and if you don't want to spill food on yourself, you will have to eat slowly automatically. So it's a good technique for beginners, right? That if you are just not able to, control your speed of eating, try it with the left hand or your non-dominant hand. You will automatically eat slowly, and then you can incorporate other techniques. Any insights here, guys? If any one of you has tried it or something similar, would love to hear. Somebody has unmuted.
Okay, so this is Shati here, and honestly, I'm the guilty one. Okay, and in my office, people there are 2-3 groups who really takes a lot of time to eat, and I'm the one who's like, guys, don't waste time and come back to work. So, I mean, I guess I need to understand and that's much better what they are doing than I'm like a 5-minute gulp and I'm back to my seat. So yeah.
Right. Because we want to be efficient, right? You're right on your own path. We want to be efficient. It's like, it's just food. We'll just get it over with. But every day, it keeps on accumulating and giving us harm. So very right. Thank you for your insight. And there was another.
I have tried reverse walking.
Yeah.
Reverse walking.
Reverse walking. Okay. Yeah. So you have to be very, very mindful in that. Otherwise you will fall. So this is another great tip, guys. Another great technique to bring mindfulness to your life. That if you're always distracted, always somewhere else, try to do reverse walking with being somewhere else. You'll trip off very hard. And then when you stand up, you'll have to do it with the being in the present. So really awesome insight. I'll try that. And I'll also people at home do that. So now let's move forward, guys. So eating with small spoons. Has the slide shifted? Okay, perfect. So automatically, if you try a new utensil, like I went to the Chinese restaurant, I now know how to use chopsticks, but still it is very slow for me. I tried eating noodles with it, rice with it. It took me 30 minutes to finish my meal. And thank God I used that because it saved me money. It saved me extra calories. So what lady ordered? Awesome. So now you can try these techniques. You can use smaller spoons. So this applies to all the utensils, not just spoons, right? And you can, you can smaller plates as well. So studies have shown if we take a bigger plate, then we tend to fill up every corner of it. If we take small plate, we serve ourselves less, eat slow, and also eat less. And I think as also Dr. Poonam has stated, the comment went away. I'll just open it. Okay, we can put our, use small plates to control portion. Yes, stops me from overeating. And another great technique here is you can put spoon between bites. Most of what we do is, abhi mouth ki bite khatam nahi hoti, next bite pehli taiyar rehti hai. So what we can do is that we can eat one bite, put it down, chew it 10-50 times, stay in the present, and then after 1 minute again pick up the spoon and eat. I know it sounds boring, but it will get good if you pay attention to the food, right? Because our generation is always so fast doing this and that together, multitasking. But yeah, these things will help. And I will also give you a summary or maybe this presentation with my notes so that everybody can keep a reminder for themselves on how to follow these techniques. So putting down your utensils between bites, chewing for longer, taking smaller bites to eat, which will happen from a small spoon. If we are having a bigger spoon, we will eat in each spoon, each bite, more food. Small spoon will help us avoid that. So a lot of times restaurants give you very large spoons, more than home. So that is a technique used by them that they should eat more. And when they eat fast, they'll eat more. You'll have a bigger bill also. So fourth point is really interesting to me. It's not about how, it's about what we are going to do here. So it's about choosing foods that simply take longer to eat, right? If we are eating rice, it's very easy to chew. Already without any bran, anything, it's not brown rice, white rice, very fast it can be eaten. But if you're eating a chickpea salad, you'll have to do a lot of chewing, trust me, right? There are apples in it, there are cucumbers in it, there are tomatoes in it. So salads take longer time to eat automatically without even trying much, right? Because the food you have to chew. And also chewing does another insightful thing I just forgot to tell, that when we chew, the more we chew, the less stress we put on our stomachs, right? Think about it. If we are just chewing a little bit, then unmasticated food is traveling down our stomach, and the stomach has to do more work. And it can cause indigestion, it can cause bloating. A lot of people face acid reflux because they eat too fast. That is because their stomach has to do a lot of work. The stomach thinks, okay, this is very heavy food. It pours a lot of acid and it comes out also, right? So great way to is if you're eating here, if you're finishing, as we say that digestion starts in the mouth. If you use your blender properly, your mouth is your blender, and the things that are going below should be almost blended up, right? So the more we use our blender, the less stomach has to do the work, the better the digestion, more the energy, and more the absorption. More nutrients will be absorbed, right? So chewing 32 times not only makes us eat slower, but also we absorb more nutrition. We have less chances of acid reflux and all those things. Cool. Now get creative technique. I've just made a technique out of it only. So whatever makes you eat slower, please experiment over the next week. Let us know, let the community know that what works for you, and we'll all try it out. Right? Because it's really worth it to inculcate this lifestyle and to help others also. And maybe sit down, and a lot of people, sit down on floor in the Hindu culture and then eat, because it brings their body in peace. Excuse me.
In Muslim culture also we sit down and sit.
Yes,
in Muslim culture also. And the thing is that we have been told to eat whenever you feel really hungry, and not full plate. Don't fill your stomach fully.
That is a very good insight. I also heard this from Ayurveda. I also heard it from Muslim community. I think religion is a way to provide science in a packaged way, but we think it's more superstition. But there is a lot of truth to it. And a lot of people pray before eating. So I'll come to that first. Here. The gratitude technique. Like, you don't have to make such a sad face like this guy, but you can be smiling and praying. this is like pleading to God or something. But, praying brings you in the present moment, and it makes you thankful for the food on your plate, that not everybody is lucky as us. There are, very sad to hear it, but 2 billion people right now who don't have clean access to food. And we are lucky that food is in front of our plate, so we should be grateful about it. For everybody who made it possible for us to bring it from seed to our plate. So that level of thing also brings a lot of people that, no, I don't want to watch anything. This is important stuff.
Hi, I want to ask one thing. Does
Yeah,
our
please.
sitting posture defines our digestion process? Like sitting on a table, comparing to sitting on a ground floor, which one is better?
Right. See, I have not read any scientific study about it, but in our Ayurvedic scriptures, which is very vast, it says that when we sit in a cross-legged position, we have cut off the blood supply to our legs because we are in cross-leg. And so most of the blood supply is in our above body, which is involved in eating. So our digestion process, the enzymes are flowing to our mouth and everything. So that is a much more efficient way to eat, and you will be more present there. So yeah, that's my insight here.
Thank you.
So my pleasure.
And I think
So
we
again,
eat less too. If we sit down, I have noticed with myself.
I have also personally seen,
Yeah.
and I also sometimes use hands to eat, because I really like for some reason to use my hands to eat the rice and stuff. So it is very grounding to me. Using a spoon is sometimes like I have to do it when I'm outside, but yeah, at home I eat most of the time with hands, and it always automatically makes me slower. Have anybody has tried eating with hands?
Yeah, I have observed that. Hello. Yeah, I have observed that whenever I sit on the floor and I eat with my hands, I tend to eat less and slower also. When I sit on the table and you eat with a spoon, you tend to, gobble your food so fast. I don't know what is the reason.
Yeah, it's weird, right? It happens with me also. Yeah,
yeah.
It's weird.
When
It's
the
weird. Like it
spoon
should
is
not
there,
happen, but there is
you
some
are in
reason.
a habit. You are in a habit of eating it faster. But when I eat my food with hand, and especially sitting down and cross-leg position, you have to bend down and eat. So that I don't know. That helps to eat little lesser. I feel that.
Fantastic. Spoon only in office.
I always eat
That's
with
right.
hands. I always eat with hands,
Awesome.
except I'm out.
Yes, I think that is an awesome technique, and we all should throw our, dining tables out and make lower sitting at our home. So
तन्वी उसके लग जाएगी.
I'm going to take 1 hour.
डंबल है उसके हाथ में.
Can you mute yourself? Jenny, can you take care of that?
Mozzarella.
Yeah. So the another technique is maximize plant foods. So plants means fiber. Fiber means more chewing. Simple. So try to add, like as I was talking in the meal sequencing video I shared with my group, that if we have a meal which is very crunchy, if we eat a salad before our meal, we will automatically prolong the time of eating. So what I suggest is take 1 to 2 glasses of water before a meal, then have a katori of salad or fruit. Have a katori of salad or fruit, before the meal. So you have already put 10 minutes before your main meal. So your brain is now thinking that yes, you have started your eating. So water, then fiber, then after 5 minutes you start your meal. So 10 minutes are already gone. Now at least you can try to finish your meal in 10 minutes and not 5 minutes. So this is also a great technique, is meal sequencing. Have 2 glasses of water. After 2 minutes, have a big bowl of fruit or big plate of salad. After 5 minutes, start your meal. So already 10 minutes are used there, and then you can use all these techniques. Even in restaurants, you eat with hands. Your theory is, okay, fantastic. Now next is the contest. So now, yes, this is all the talk. Yes, we know that, I hope any one of you is not eating. It is going to be a little disturbing thing. Can I get a yes or no? Am I audible?
Yes, go on.
Okay. So many of us have seen that when we eat corn, and in the morning, we sometimes see it in the flush. So that is the biggest indicator of our unmindfulness, that we have not chewed it properly. We just let it by. If we are chewing a bite 10 times, 20 times, 25 times, 30 times, this will not happen. So after a week, we all will have a corn meal and we will see that in the morning, are we doing actually mindful eating or not? Am I audible? I hope no one is uncomfortable with this, but we need to test that theory. So now
No,
this
it's
is
correct. What you said is right.
Thank you, Prerna. So, this is a way to test all our techniques. It can be a very easy test without any scientific study, without any analysis, without an subjective measurement, but will be an objective test that we should not see corn in our toilets when we eat it. That is the biggest indicator that we are eating mindfully. I thought
So
it
one
was
thing
just
I
you.
want to
Thanks for
ask
bringing this
you.
up.
I want to ask you one thing.
Yes, please
When
go
we
ahead.
are taking, like portion wise, we are taking. Say, okay,
Yes.
we are taking 25% of carb and 25% of protein. And if we are eating salads and all this 50%. And suppose
Yes.
we feel satisfied and we don't want to eat. So that way we will be missing protein. So how to go?
That's a very brilliant question, right? So the idea here is that we want to, for example, in our plate, half of our plate should be fiber or vegetables. Like half of that can come from salad, half of that can come from sabzis, and 1/4 of it should be grains, and 1/4 of it should be protein. So that is what makes a balanced plate. And now you're saying that if we eat salad first, then what if we eat the sabzi part and the roti part, but the dal or the sabzi or the chicken is left? That's a great question. So what I suggest is that to keep the portion, the ratio same. If you are, for example, had salad before, then if you think that, I will be able to eat 2 chapatis, but now I'll not be able to eat dal. Don't do that. Reduce 1 chapati as well, but eat everything equally in that ratio. Am I clear? That instead of saying, okay, I will just not eat one thing, eat everything less. So the ratio is still maintained. Little bit of dal is also going in, little bit of roti is also going in, little bit of sabzi and salad is also going in, rather than just skipping one item out. Can I get the thumbs up if it's clear?
Thanks a lot.
My pleasure. So now this is one technique which we are going to try right now. So are we in with this? So I think this is the last thing, and after that we have some questions and wrap it up. So, but roti is not allowed. I was just giving an example. You can still eat roti sometimes made from your millets and all. Again, because roti, why we are not having roti, much of the roti, because we have already used the blender on the grain. Imagine if there is a millet, whole millet, so much chewing you have to do. And if you already use the blender and then make it into a flour, then make it into a roti, you will be eating it very fast. So that is also one of the reasons that we want to eat whole grains, because they take time to eat and you'll eat slower. And again, one thing is, let it go to waste, then to your waste. Waste is WASTE. Usko waste hone do rather than it goes to your waste, WAIST. So I don't prefer wasting food. Store it in the fridge. Maybe somebody in the family can have it, or you can have it in the next meal. But stop right when you feel that, okay, I'm feeling full. Stop when you are feeling 80% full. As somebody here told us that in Muslim culture, they also tell that, we should eat less than our stomach full. So stop when you feel.
It has been said that 1/3 part for air, 1/3 part for food, and 1/3 part for water.
Exactly. Totally on point. So just when you start to feel pet bharna shuru ho gaya, my tummy is starting to fill up, that actually means that your tummy is full. Just the signal space is there. You have just eaten fast. The signal just started to come. So you should stop right there. And trust me, not after 10 minutes, you will feel like, thank God I didn't eat more, because you will feel so light. Right? So guys, this is a grounding technique which we can practice before eating. So can you just all follow me with this? So I'll start with, let's just all take 3 deep breaths to just bring ourselves in the present moment. Are we all on it? Can I get a thumbs up? Then we'll start. The worst feeling in the world is to overeat. Yes, and we all do it sometimes and then we regret it. Thank you, Anamika, for being on board. Thanks for the thumbs up. Am I audible? Okay. a lot of videos just turned off. So yes, now I can see you guys. There was a lot of thumbs up. Everyone is ready. Great to see that. So now let's everyone take 3 deep breaths. Maybe you can close your eyes if it helps you. It's not something mystical, but yeah, it will just really help us. So let's do it. Breathe in. Hold your breath for 2 seconds. And breathe out through your mouth. Breathe in with your nose. Hold. Breathe out. One last time. Awesome, awesome, you guys. Great. How many of you are feeling more in the moment right now? Once, let's again give thumbs up. That's the only way I can know. I'm feeling more present for sure. Anamika, definitely. Awesome. You too, Jenny. So, it's just one thing which is with us each second of our life, and we forget it's there. And just by, getting in touch with it, we can come into more mindfulness. Right? So now that we are feeling better, we are more aware, we are more in the moment, let's try to follow this technique. Try to find 5 things that you can see around you, and you can name it, just to yourself. So personally, I can see my keyboard, I can see my laptop, I can see my mouse, I can see my books, and I can see my hands. Okay, 5 things I can see. Now let's move on to the second part. Acknowledge 4 things that you can touch. You can also touch it, feel its texture, right? So I can feel my skin. Its texture is different than the next thing I'm going to touch. I'm touching the screen of my laptop. It's very smooth, right? I'm feeling this. Jenny, you also have to do it. I'm seeing you. So another thing is, table, chair, shopping trolley, bottle. Awesome, guys. Awesome. So I have still 2 things more to touch. I'm touching a page on the book. And I'll touch my hair. Okay. Now let's move on to the third thing. I know it may sound silly that why we are doing this, but trust me here. Now notice 3 things you can hear. Be it outside the room, be it inside the room. Maybe somebody's talking outside your room. Maybe it's the blow of the AC or the fan. Watch, ton, birds chirping, beautiful. I'll also try to, I'm also hearing birds chirping, vehicle sound, and the sound of the AC. Awesome, guys. We are in this together. Now let's identify your husband, son, and you kids playing. Awesome. Now identify 2 things you can smell. So what can I smell? I think I can only smell books right now. Okay, this is one smell. And I can smell this swollen because I need it a lot because I speak a lot. I've been told I talk a lot. Okay, this is nice. 2 things I've smelled. And 1 thing you can taste. So you don't have to run and taste something, but you can also, oh, mango, people are already eating right now. Awesome. Water, the taste of water. Awesome. Cheers, guys. So right now, what do you feel, guys? Sound of rain. Wow, beautiful. Lemon tea, green tea. Everybody is having tea. We are having a tea party right now. Awesome. Makhana. So good. So now what it does is that it actually activates all our senses and brings us in the present moment. When we are not in the present moment, we are not in touch with our senses. We are only in our brain. We don't know that we can touch, we can see, we can taste, we can. So when we do this, we come into the present moment automatically. So I wanted to give you a try of this own saliva. Yes, we have, like, some people have that rusty taste in their mouth and some are sweet. So acknowledging that is also taste. You don't have to eat every time before you do that. That's a good insight. So, and also you said it with a wink, made me a little uncomfortable, but okay. So recognize 1 thing you can taste. Awesome. Now it is done. And you can do this technique before eating with your family every time. And I think just doing this thing alone will bring a major change. You are in the present, then if you are chewing the bites or anything like that, we can go from there. So it was one of the best audiences I've ever got. And thank you for showing up in such large numbers. It was so insightful to have you on board. Now I'm up for Q&A for the next 10 minutes. And yeah, please go ahead with your questions, guys. Would love to answer.
Can I share something?
Please, right, go ahead.
I have heard one lecture and they were talking like a group of people, they visited one country and one of them, the person got a heart problem and they searched for the cardiologist and heart hospital, but they couldn't find any cardiologist in that country. I don't know the country name, I forgot. So they asked why there is no cardiologist. So they say, okay, we don't have bakery at all. So we don't require cardiologist at all. So with what we have eliminated white and all that. Now it's really destroying our lifestyle. That's what I wanted to say.
That is so true. So they don't have a cardiologist because they don't have heart patients only. Wow, that's big. So beautiful. And why are we not eating whole wheat? I'm still confused. I'm not finding it sustainable. Yes, I understand, because I also really believe that if you are not able to do something for a long term, it's very difficult to, keep your weight off from that. But it is just for a short period of time. We are just doing an experiment. We are just doing a pilot program in which we are seeing that if this approach works or not. We are going to bring your chapatis definitely back, and we are not stopping chapatis. You can go with the millet roti and everything, and you can even have this whole wheat chapati once in a while, maybe even once a day. If that, I always say that whatever is sustainable for you is like little bit of sugar. For example, if we want to feed kids with a medicine, we give it with a little bit of sugar, right? So that the medicine can work. So here also, if just having one chapati one time or two chapati one time is making you, stick to the all over diet, then why not? Right? If you can do 90% of the things with just 10% of here and there, then why not, rather than saying, okay, this is not for me and I'm going. So I wholeheartedly believe in that. And
hello, sir. I have a bit of a doubt. Sir, 7 years back, we have a puja in a family called as Kartik Nahan, where for a month we don't eat our staple food. And that time I lost 12 kgs of my real weight after getting pregnant and a 6 months baby. But the drawback of that was when I came back to my daily diet after the puja, after 31 days of fasting, I had major gestational issues. So I want to ask, if we are eliminating all the whites all of a sudden and we come back to it, do I have to face the same problem? Yeah, after when I came back to my diet, I regained all my weight. Like though I reduced my diet due to the puja we had, they say your stomach shrink because you don't eat much. Okay, but after that I gained all the weight I lost. So are we gaining that back, or am I going to face the same issue again?
That's a very nice question. And it is actually the problem of the dieting industry a lot, that most people who lose their weight, they gain it back when the approach is not sustainable, right? That being said, why we are going for this pilot program is because I heard the other day in the group that a person was saying, I've never eaten brown rice in my life. And I was very skeptical about it. I ate it, I hated it. But on the third day, he was like, it tasted even better than the white rice. And he even felt fuller for longer. So he told me that it is an acquired taste, right? And until we don't try anything for few days, we would never get to know if how does it taste. And same as with millet rotis. I'm just reading the chat. Somebody talking to me about, that the millet roti, they are loving more than the normal roti now. It's more tastier, more lighter, more filling, right? So that's one idea. Now coming to the second part of your question. And now somebody is saying, I think the experiment has made me taste all the healthy options, getting a vast variety, right? We were only in our staples all the time. Now we are going for the, more diverse options, right? And this session, we have to do a lot of techniques which will make us come closer to our goals. So again, to that point. Now, second point of your question was, when we stop eating those things, then why do we gain our weight? Why do we gain all our weight back? So if X thing has made you lose weight and you stop doing X, your weight will come back, right? So rather than looking at like that, I was on a special diet, I was on for 1 month, I was not eating my staple foods. So this becomes black and this becomes white. They become two different things. This is the X diet, this is my restricted diet, and this is my cheat diet, my normal diet. When we make that distinction in our head that they are both two different things, then it is very hard to be sustainable. Now, what will make this program sustainable is that we will be keeping a lot of stuff in our life even after this program ends, right? So instead of looking at that, like that was the, Bhuvan's diet was something else. Now I'm going to back my old Healthify program. You can talk to your coach that, okay, I've tried these 10 things and I want to still keep these 8 things. So only your 20% of the weight will come back, not 100%, because you have still kept 80% of that diet. So what made you lose weight? If you stop doing it, the weight will automatically come back. So we need to find alternatives in this time. We need to find what's sustainable for us in this time, so that when we go back, we can continue those habits and that journey. So it is just a boost for you, because a lot of times we are feeling stuck. Okay, the weight is just not going. We're on a plateau. So this will break that plateau, bring that motivation back, give you that community feeling. And I think good coach is really important, right? To answer all these questions, to the nuances, because we can get stuck mentally. A lot of times, I really believe that fat loss or health problems is not just a technical problem. It's not just about how many calories to eat, what not to eat, but it's also become of an emotional problem because of the picture we saw. Our emotions are driving the car, not our brains, right? So you need someone to tackle those emotional problems who has the knowledge of the technical aspect as well. So a good coach, I think, has both of the qualities, understanding your emotions as well as giving you the best science. So very happy to be here, and I hope I answered your question.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Hello. हाँ, ये डाइट की वजह से कि पता नहीं, पर रात को नींद नहीं हो रही है पूरी, मतलब लेट हो रहा है, 12-1 बजे तक नींद ही नहीं आ रही है.
अच्छा, तो आप कौन से ग्रुप से हो? आप किसके उसमें हो ग्रुप में?
आपके ही सर.
अच्छा, मेरे ग्रुप में. ठीक है. तो मेरे को एक्चुअली आपका नाम भी नहीं दिख रहा, मुझे बस आवाज आ रही है. सो आप मुझे प्लीज ग्रुप में मैसेज कीजिए and we will have a whole conversation on it.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
We will fix this issue for you, for sure.
Okay.
Anyone else?
I have a question.
Yes.
Okay. After this program, actually, this plan was a long time back. We are going on a pilgrimage, and that also to South India. Now, in that pilgrimage, I will get only food from outside. So how do I maintain that then?
You will do the best you can. That's my answer to it. You will
because
try
that's
to
going to
manage
make
in the
me
best way.
Eat everything then. I'll have to reduce my, of course, my normal, this thing is 1 chapati in the lunch or 1 chapati in dinner.
Right.
With whatever salad and sabji that we have. I've also reduced it because my husband is having some kidney problems. So, we are now on vegetable and chapatis mostly.
Right.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen when I go out on a pilgrimage, to South India. So how do we manage that?
I think, this thing, if, will be much more better managed by your own Healthify coach, because they need to guide you step by step, get to help you on what you can do in that stage, in that state, getting you the best options to manage your thing in a very customizable manner. I can give you right now very,
I know it's the beginning of the program and yet we've got 8 weeks to go, but I just thought I'll ask you this question.
For how long are you going there?
What is that? We'll be going there for 12 days.
12 days. Okay.
Yeah.
So you can get in touch with Jenny or Malika and ask them that if you can do the both things together, you can unpause your plan. You can also get in touch with your old coach.
No, this is after the program. This is after the program.
Okay. After the program.
Yeah, I know it's too early to ask you this, but I thought of this
Okay,
question. I thought I'll ask you.
No,
I
that
think
we
not
will
have.
help you manage for sure.
And moreover, today's session that Bhuvan helped us about mindful eating, elements of that itself when you're outside can help us really in the long way. Your mid meals with some fruit can help you feel fuller. And I'm sure your other, over the period of time, you'll still be able to identify certain foods which are available, which you can have. Certain foods which are unavoidable, I'm sure we could, we can go with that. But South India does have a lot of idli and dosa, which is fermented, and it is definitely something that you can have in your diet. So while you're going there, we'll definitely help you with that. So you don't have to worry. Let's keep the mindful eating pointers in mind. I'm sure that'll help.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
I have a question.
So, yeah, please go ahead.
Hello. Yeah, I have a question. We are stopping all these dairy products like your milk and paneer and except for curd. So will it affect our calcium levels and all? Because sometimes I do have this. I very frequently get vitamin D3 deficiency. Like every 6 months, I have to get my D3 checked, and then after 6 to 8 months, it does come down. So when I'm stopping with the because I'm a vegetarian, I have no other option for calcium except for maybe from some millets, ragi, palak, and all those things. You get some amount of calcium. But when you stop the
That's a
milk
great question.
and paneer, will it affect my calcium levels or anything like that?
That's a great question. I will just answer it in two ways. Number one is that, first of all, one more thing to take from this presentation, guys, that get your metabolic panels done. Vitamin D deficiency is a very big chronic problem in our country, and almost 90% of the people are having it. Right now, also, the whole day went away, and I've not got direct sunlight. So it's just a problem with the modern living, right? So, and a lot of people are deficient in it, and a lot of people think that vitamin D is only responsible for your calcium intake or the absorption of calcium. But studies have shown it is actually responsible for the working of at least 300 different genes in your body, right from the stress to your rate of depression and anxiety, to your digestion levels, to hair fall, to gut issues, to the body aches, all of that. And first thing, when somebody comes up with me the symptoms, I tell them, get your metabolic panel done. I send them the link, the person comes, it gets checked, and the whole thing is on my profile, right? So from there, what I can do is that I can I get the whole clinical picture clear, because we are so far away. I cannot see your eyes, I cannot test your other clinical symptoms that I can see, but inside your body, what's going on, right? From your cholesterol levels to your thyroid to your vitamin D, B12, everything is in just one package. We have made it into one package. So I really recommend or urge all of you to get this done. If you are not done it in a long time, for sure, maybe right away, go to the app, ask your coaches, ask your help for that. They will guide you. And then the whole thing will be uploaded to the system, and they can keep, proper parameters that what can we do to fix this thing? What can we do to fix this thing? Then we will do a confirmatory test after 3 months or 6 months to see that our approach is working or not. Right?
Okay.
So
because actually after stopping this dairy, I do feel good. See, I have never been into drinking much of milk, but this after COVID, I developed this severe D3 deficiency. Like my D3 was in single digits because I was affected with COVID twice. So my D3 dropped drastically. So that is when, my doctor, she suggested that you start including more calcium because we could not go out also at that time because it was lockdown and all for the almost 2 years. So that is when I started taking milk. And I think that is when, my weight gain also occurred, because I have seen that if you cut down on your dairy, your weight also comes down actually. So I used to include 1 glass of milk. But after I joined Healthify Me last year, with the help of my coach, I've been able to maintain my D3 it's come up very well with the supplements and all, of course, but also with the nuts and all the other seeds what my dietitian used to suggest. But now that is my query, that if I have cut down on if we cut down on the milk part or the paneer part, will it affect my calcium levels, or will it affect my D3? Because as of now, it is normal. I checked it only a couple of months back. So it is normal, my D3 and B12. So
See,
I just want to know.
Okay, I'll just answer it very quickly. So the D3 will not be affected. These are very two different mechanisms. There is a source of calcium, there's a source of vitamin D. Vitamin D is created when sunlight falls on your skin. Your skin converts, that sunlight into vitamin D, which is then absorbed by liver and everything. Then your vitamin D increases. Second way to do it is via supplements. So I tell people to get a proper source of supplements. If there is a deficiency, there is a different regimen. If the deficiency is fixed, it's not like we don't have to take the supplement. We have to take it in lower doses but regularly, so that the deficiency doesn't occur again, right? So that's I think what your coach helped you with now. That is being said, it will not affect your vitamin D level. Vitamin D level drops either without the the proper exposure to supplements or sunlight, or if you are in a very high stress condition like a very bad illness or some surgery, your vitamin D levels drop drastically. So if you have ever been to a surgery or if you get sick for maybe like a typhoid or 2 times COVID, something like that, always get tested after it. Your levels will be a lot lower. So second thing is the calcium part. So in these 2 months, if your vitamin D level is good, so all the calcium from the food will be getting absorbed in a good way. And a lot of these millets are packed with calcium. The soy milk is packed with calcium. If you see, on the back label. So on that it is written, it has an equal amount of calcium as 1 glass of cow's milk. Right. So until there is optimal amount of vitamin D in your body present, don't worry about the calcium. Your diet is taking care of it for sure. And dairy is not the only source. Right?
And
So
I
Jenny,
just
think
want to
we should,
quickly,
go
I
with-
just wanted to quickly tell the previous person who had asked a question about South India. She was very apprehensive getting these kind of foods. Actually, in South India, you have many options for millets. You have these ragi dosas, you have peserettu, which is the moong dal sheela, and then you have these ragi kali, which is the balls kind of thing. So she will get a lot of options down south actually. So she need not worry about the millet part and all. I just wanted to just quickly clarify. Thank you for, I hope I'm not taking much time.
Thank you so much. I think we'll just have to end it anyways. So
we'll also we have the recorded session. If you joined in late or anything, we'll have that sent on the group. Thank you so much, Bhuvan, for your time. And I'm sure we'll take back at least one technique